Namaste children. Welcome to today's English class. In today's class we are going to read lesson 10 class 6 honeysuckle the banyan tree. Have you seen a mongoose? You have read in lesson 9 that a mongoose can fight with and kill a snake. Look at the pictures and read the lines given along with them. So now let us read about the fight of the mongoose and the cobra or the snake. The fight of the cobra and the mongoose is a classic drama often seen in India, and the outcome is largely the same. The mongoose is not immune to the venomous bite but is faster and quicker in motion than the snake. So, the fight of the cobra and the mongoose, it is a classic drama. It is an old drama, and finally the outcome is it is the mongoose who skillfully comes out of it or skillfully wins in it. The mongoose is not immune to the venomous bite. So not immune means it is not secure to the bite of the snake. If the snake bites the mongoose will die. And but what the mongoose will do, it is very quick in its action. So before it bites, it moves from that particular place to the other place, and again the snake, it again tries with another posture to bite the mongoose. The cobra assumes a posture of defense and attempts to reach the animal by sweeping strikes, but the quick moving mongoose jumps out of reach and comes at the snake from another. So whenever the snake is ready to strike, at that time the mongoose quickly moves to the other direction. In that way, the mongoose escapes the snake's bite. Before the snake can get into striking position again, the constant movement tires and discourages the snake, and the mongoose is finally able to leap in a close and bury its teeth in the snake's neck, usually severing the joints of its vertebrae. So finally, what does this mongoose will do? Constantly it moves here and there, and finally it escapes the bite. Very skillfully it escapes the bite of the snake, and it jumps, and finally it with its teeth, okay, it bites the snake, okay, at its neck, and that will cause the snake to death. Okay, now coming to the lesson. You must have seen a banyan tree. This is a story about what the author saw as a young boy. Okay, when he was sitting in an old banyan tree in his grandfather's house. So here, this particular lesson, that is the banyan tree, this is written by Ruskin Bond. So we all know about Ruskin Bond. So let us know about this author. So he is an Indian author. His books are The Blue Umbrella, Delhi is Not Far, Cherry Tree, A Flight of Pigeons. And Ruskin Bond is considered to be an icon among Indian writers and children's authors, and also he's a top novelist. And this author, Ruskin Bond's stories are very much famous, children, and please take some time to read his books. The author in this particular lesson is a boy who was living with his grandparents, who was living in his grandparents' house, that is in Dehradun. Okay, now let us read. So this lesson is in two parts. In today's video, we'll do part 1, children. Though the house and grounds belonged to my grandparents, the magnificent old banyan tree was mine, chiefly because grandfather at 65 could no longer climb it. So now here the writer, who is a boy, that is Ruskin Bond, where he stays with his grandparents, okay, that is in Dehradun. So what he says is there was a magnificent old banyan tree. So magnificent here, it refers to very wonderful, glorious, beautiful. Okay, so that tree was mine. So he says that that banyan tree was his tree. Why? Because grandfather's age is around is 65 and he can no longer climb it. He cannot climb. So it is the author or the writer who climbs the banyan tree, and he says that that banyan tree was his. Okay, its spreading branches which hung to the ground and took root again, forming a number of twisting passages, gave me endless pleasure. So here it's spreading branches. So now we are talking about the banyan tree. So the banyan tree's branches, they hung to the ground. Okay, and they took roots, so that the roots or the branches, when they hung down, they become a part of a root, and then forming a large number of twisting passages. So from the root again it will be in a bend or in a curve way, gave me endless pleasure. So these roots or which have spread down, which have hung down, that has given endless pleasure for the author. Among them were squirrels and snails and butterflies. So not only he, even though the animals and the birds, that is squirrels, snails and butterflies, all this insect, they also had pleasure on that banyan tree. The tree was older than the house, older than grandfather, as old as Dehradun itself. I could hide myself in its branches behind thick green leaves and spy on the world below. So here what he says, here the author says that he tells about the tree, isn't it? So he says that the tree is older than the house, than the grandfather's house. Compared to that house, it is older, and the tree is older than his grandfather also. Okay, his age. And also he says that it is older, or it is as old as this Dehradun, that particular place. And he says that he hides himself in its branches, and where he hides behind the thick green leaves he hides, and from there he looks down, or he watches the world below. So that means on the branches there he sits, and from there he watches the world which is below. Then next paragraph. My first friend was a small grey squirrel. Arching his back and sniffing into the air, he seemed at first to resent my invasion of his privacy. So here the author or the writer is telling about his first friend. So who is his first friend, children? Yes, it is the squirrel. So squirrel is his first friend. And when he wanted to make friendship with the squirrel, at that time the squirrel, it took a curve. When it had seen the author, it took a curve and it sniffed or it breathed into the air, and it disliked the interference of the author into its privacy. But when he found that I did not arm myself with catapult or air gun, he became friendly. So the squirrel has seen the author, and the author did not carry any catapult. Catapult refers to throwing stones like that, or had any air gun. So then the squirrel got confidence and it became friendly with the author. And when I started bringing him pieces of cake and biscuit, he grew quite bold and was soon taking morsels from hand. So what did they do? So when this author started bringing pieces of cake and also biscuits, at that time the squirrel was fearless, and it took the food, or it took the small pieces of food from the author's hand. Before long he was delving into my pockets and helping himself to whatever he could find. So what did this squirrel? It searched into the pockets of this author and took the things. He was a very young squirrel, and his friends and relatives, you can see here the squirrel, the author, he is giving the morsels of food or the cake or the biscuits. Okay, so he was a very young squirrel, and his friends and relatives probably thought him foolish and headstrong for trusting a human being. So now the other squirrels, or the relatives and friends of the squirrel, they thought that the squirrel is very stubborn. And why it is very stubborn and foolish? Because it is trusting a human. In the spring, when the banyan tree was full of small red figs, birds of all kinds would flock into its branches. The red bottomed bulbul, cheerful and greedy, parrots, myna, and crows squabbling with one another. During the fig season, the banyan tree was the noisiest place in the garden. So now here, in the spring season, so what happened in the spring season? In the spring season, there are full of red fruits on this banyan tree, and all the birds of different kinds, they gathered together on the branches of this particular banyan tree. So the parrot, myna, crows, all that, and when they gathered, they were this squabbling. Squabbling refers to quarreling. They were quarreling with each other for the fruits. Okay. And during fig season, so what is this fig season? It is the season or where the fruits appear. During the fig season, the banyan tree was the noisiest place in the garden because all the birds are on the branches of this particular banyan tree, and they quarrel with each other for the fruits. Halfway up the tree, I had built a crude flat platform where I would spend the afternoons when it was not too hot. So what did this author do? What did the writer do? He had built a crude platform. So what is this crude platform? A rough platform he had built just above the trunk of the tree. So why did he build that? We'll see. And he says that he spends afternoon when it is not hot, there he spends his time. I could read there, propping myself up against the tree with a cushion from the living room. So what did he do? He had brought from the living room a cushion, and what he propped himself. So propping refers to he leaned. So he leaned to the trunk of the tree. He leaned to the place where he had kept a platform. There he leaned, and he was there. He brought a cushion from the living room. Treasure Islands, Huckleberry Finn, and the story of Dr. Dolittle were some of the books that made up my banyan tree library. So what he did over there, children? What did he do over there? He had brought some books. There he sat. He brought a cushion also. He was leaning there, and then there, that particular place he made as his library, and he was reading the books. Okay, he formed that particular place as the banyan tree library. When I did not feel like reading, I could look down through the leaves at the world below. So he was reading for some time. Later on, when he was not able to read or when he was not feeling like reading, he used to look through that banyan tree, through the leaves, down. So down, what he could see, he could watch the world below. And on one particular afternoon, I had a grandstand view of the classic of the Indian wilds, a fight between a mongoose and a cobra. So now, as he was sitting, he had a grandstand view, children. So he was there on the banyan tree there. So there he made a platform. There he sat. He brought his books and he was reading. And when he did not feel like reading at that time, through the leaves, he looked down the earth. So there he was able to see the whole earth below. He would see all the things. So when he was looking through the leaves at that time, at one particular afternoon, what did he see? I had a grandstand view. So what is this grandstand view, children? It is a very clear view from the best position. So from that particular place where he had sat, from there he had a very clear view to see the things. So what he had seen, okay, grand view of the classic of the Indian wilds. So classic here, it refers to the old drama of the Indian wilds. So who are the Indian wilds? That is the mongoose and the cobra. So from there he had seen the fight between a mongoose and a cobra. Is this clear, children? Have you all understood this lesson? So in the next part we'll see whatever he had seen, all that will be narrated by the author. Is this clear, children? Have you all understood? Thank you.